Hi all, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology and today all things Virgo Descendant. What you as a Pisces rising are looking for in love, connection, and partnership, because our astrological natal chart tells us a lot. Not only does it describe our strengths, our challenges, our life purpose, it also describes the sort of people that we are magnetized to for better and for worse. For better, in that your descendant represents your perfect match, your other half, your ideal spouse or business partner, because this is the energy that balances you out. There is some truth to the saying opposites attract. And while there's so much beauty to how it is that you see the world as a Pisces rising, when it comes to connection, you aren't looking for a carbon copy around how it is that you see the world. You are looking for someone to balance out, who is strong where you are weak, who is deficient where you are strong. So that's what true partnership is, right? And that is described by Virgo within your chart, if you are a Pisces ascendant or if you're listening for someone who is. And it's not to say you have to go out and run and find a Virgo, not at all. We're going to chat through this angle deeply to really paint a picture around what it is that you are looking for, how this energy balances you out, as well as some of the darker underbelly that these traits can entail. And it's important with the descendant to understand that because it's the energy we're looking for to balance us out, we also need to understand the shadow side of that sign. So while you could be attracted to individuals who embody the best aspects of Virgo energy, who are analytic, who are intelligent, who are service-oriented and helpful, you can also find that you are magnetized towards people who are critical and fussy and worried. So it's important to understand this angle for all of its capacity, which we will be diving deeply within this video. Before I dive in, if you gain any value from this video, if you could kindly drop a like or any sort of button down there. We are working through the Descendant series, so make sure to check out the playlist to see if I've done yours, if this is not your rising sign, if you're listening for someone else. And without further ado, let's dive in. Virgo Descendant, the light side. Okay, my love, when I say light side, I mean the best expression of this energy. And these are the sort of people when it comes to selecting a business partner, when it comes to getting married. These are the sort of people that most ideally fits what your chart is craving, right? Because you as the Pisces rising view the world through this lens of emotion. And there's many gifts to being a Pisces ascendant. You have this superpower in regards to your intuition. You tend to have an aura that is very emotionally comforting for individuals. And you have this tendency to merge into every environment that you are in. This does not make you disingenuous, but these are the sort of people that you could throw them into a biker bar, you could throw them into a pep rally. It's like Pisces rising have this ability to sort of shapeshift into any environment that they are in. And they are the sort of people who are nimble. They can get along with a wide range of individuals. They have a very glamorous, otherworldly aura about themselves. They make people feel safe to reveal all sorts of intimate details about themselves. Like there are so many Pisces rising reports of like, yeah, I was just sitting on a bus and this person sat next to me and started telling me about their divorce. Like that's the sort of aura that you project, right? And you can be a little sensitive and you can take on other people's stuff because it's almost like you have this tendency to sort of merge into any environment that you're in. That's where your perfect match comes in, because Virgo is very analytic, where it is that you are led by heart. They are very in their brain, where it is that you are deeply in every experience. And to its highest level, Virgo energy is going to help you to realize discernment, right? Whereas Pisces just sort of merges and melds to the environment that they're in and almost like soaks up, whether it's slang words or behaviors or whatever, almost like osmosis. Virgo is discerning. There is this sort of brainy response in looking at situations and really asking, is this a good environment for me to be in? Does this feel good? So to its highest level, Virgo energy, because they are so in their mind and they are so analytical, they will help you teach you discernment around which environments you should not be in, what is not good for you, where it is that you should say no, because that's what the Virgo energy is about, is being able to discern, right? Is being able to analyze, being able to break down and be like, okay, this is where you need to be and this is where you're not. And it's not saying that you need a partner who will tell you what to do, but more so someone who will remind you, hey, you don't need to be around people who make you sad. hey, you don't need to take home all of this stuff from work. Let's find a solution. Because Virgo energy will be more solution oriented, whereas you can be deeply in your emotions and very swayed by what's happening around you. Virgo energy is very, very analytical. So it'll help you to be the brain power when you are all in your feelings around, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened. Virgo energy will be very problem solving and very solution oriented around, well, what if we do this? What if we solve the problem this way? Which helps balance you out because you take on a lot of people's stuff, and truly to its highest level, you are looking for someone who does care as much as you do. Virgo is also a very service oriented, helpful energy. It's a different expression than you are. You tend to be more so helpful from an emotional level, from a compassionate level. Virgo likes to, stay busy. They like to do things to support other people. So there's definitely different ways that you all show your compassion or your help. But Virgo energy will support you in being able to kind of be the brain power when you just are melting into it, like, oh, I feel bad. Virgo energy will be like, it doesn't make sense for you to continue to help in this way. It's draining you. It's doing this. Let's find a different solution. And on that note of being discerning, it's also this energy around helping you to be logical when it comes to you being too trusting, letting people in too much when people are taking advantage of you. Virgo descendant partner can be like, hey, this isn't right. They're taking advantage of you. They can see clearly, whereas you trust a little bit easier. They are so brainy and analytical, they will spotlight areas around where you need to be a little bit more cautious. To that level, sometimes Pisces rising, while they are so universally divinely supported, and I do want to highlight, I've done a whole deep dive on Pisces rising if you want to dive deeper into that. Pisces rising do tend to have a more spiritual, it is what it is, go with the flow attitude, which is lovely. And in its best expression, you can balance out your neurotic partners who exhibit Virgo descendant energy and sort of allowing them to establish this sense of trust and faith. However, how they balance you out is reminding you that while manifesting and putting on your vision board is amazing, Virgo energy to its highest level is a hard worker and will support you around meeting your manifestations with tangible efforts, right? Putting some muscle power behind your manifestations or what it is that you want, as well as empowering you around life isn't just what happens to you. Like you can go out and make things happen for yourself with concrete, tangible actions. This is very much a balancing act. Like you can remind your partners, it's not just all about what makes sense, and your partners can remind you it's not all just what you believe in. Like truly this axis really represents this divine blend around having this universal connection, really believing the bigger picture, but also supplementing it with the daily efforts. And your Virgo descendant partner will, in its highest vibration, will be someone who supports you with that, who encourages you with that, who's motivating, who's a hard worker themselves, who could motivate you to show up when seen necessary. In some expressions, sometimes, Pisces risings are individuals who move a little bit more slow and are a little bit more daydreamy. So sometimes they're drawn to people who are very hard workers to sort of pick up the slack or to be able to allow them to have more time at home or just like relaxing. So whether they inspire you to work harder or they're just the hard workers that you are able to enjoy your life and relax a little bit more, you can find that the aspects of someone who works hard, who takes what it is that they want and breaks it down into small manageable steps in order to get it from themselves is something that is attractive to you. To that level, I also want to bring in a focus that Virgo is a sign that is traditionally associated with health. And so oftentimes you can find it's very attractive when your partners take care of themselves. When they eat well, when they're concerned with nutrition, when they floss. It can be very attractive for you to be around people who take care of themselves and are devoted day to day around being the best version of themselves. This definitely comes with some downsides. We'll get into that in a moment, but you can find the partners that you're typically drawn to are individuals who may have a very rigid set routine, who may have their habits very much dialed in, who are very much concerned around health and nutrition and exercise, being the best version of themselves. Now, your Virgo descendant partner is going to be wicked smart, okay? They are going to be deeply, deeply intelligent. They know a little something about everything. And this can be very helpful in that they can not only generate solutions to problems that you're facing, but also give form to your ideas, because you as a Pisces rising are very creative. You inhabit different worlds. You see the world as a movie, right? There's almost this otherworldly quality to you where everywhere that you are, you're only half there. So it's like you do best with partners who are like fully present, fully grounded where it is that they are, and are able to use their brainy analytical minds that knows a little something about everything to be able to give form to your ideas, or be able to spotlight ways that you can make that work, or anything of that nature. And I have Pisces placements myself. Okay, this is why I'm allowed to say this, and I'm coming for you as much as I'm coming for me. But because you are kind of halfway in space, you know, it's so funny being around Pisces placements, because it's like they're so wise about so much. But then when it comes to very common sense things, it's like, how do you work a toaster? And we give them a break, because Pisces risings, you guys are only halfway here. You are inhabiting different worlds of creativity and creation and all of these things. So we totally give you guys a break. But your Virgo descendant partner is someone who will kind of excel at those daily aspects around how it is that we separate the recycle, how often we need to clean the fridge. Like, because you are sort of halfway there, sometimes just daily life maintenance can be a little challenging, and your Virgo descendant will help you balance that, because they really inhabit a world of being very grounded, very present. And I do want to draw into focus. I'm not saying that you need to go out and find a Virgo, right? Like go on New Leap and set your little settings to only Virgos, please. I'm not saying you have to do that. What I am saying is that the energy of Virgo, that archetype, is the energy you are looking for. Can that literally be a Virgo? Yes, oftentimes yes, because the house overlays, but it's not necessary. It's just someone who steps into this Virgo archetype. So maybe they have other similar energies within their birth chart. They have a strong Mercury presence. They have a 6th house stellium, something that gives off this Virgo energy. Now, to find out your ideal match, where you can encounter this person, the energy that you particularly are looking for, you will want to find Mercury within your birth chart, okay? So let's say you are a Virgo descendant and your Mercury is in Aries in the 2nd house, okay? So this would kind of flavor the sort of Virgo energy that you're drawn to. Like, yes, maybe you are drawn to someone who is analytical, who is intelligent, who is helpful, right? All of this Virgo energy. But with Mercury being in Aries within your birth chart, it would describe, you might be drawn to someone who, yes, is very helpful, but is very forward about it, very Aries-like, right? Very brash, very bold. With Mercury in 2nd house, you could be drawn to someone who's very intelligent, particularly as it relates to money matters. Or you can even meet them at a shop or at a bank or something of that nature. Or let's say you are a Virgo descendant and your Mercury is in Cancer in the 5th house. Well, you'll also be drawn to Virgo-like qualities, someone who is analytical, where it is that you are dreamy, someone who gives form and structure to your inspired ideas. With Mercury in the 5th house, it really would indicate you might be drawn to someone who is very creative themselves, or almost has this excited or youthful creative spirit to how it is that they view the world. With the energy in Cancer, yes, they have this helpful Virgo energy, but it might come through in a more emotional way. Understanding your descendant ruler, which if you are a Virgo descendant is Mercury, helps flavor what it is that you are looking for in connection and partnership. Okay, my love, but that's not the full story. That is not the full story of Virgo descendant. So let's get into it, because there is a shadow side. Just like you can be attracted to someone who embodies the qualities that I said earlier, analytic, problem solver, practical, grounded, helpful, all of these amazing qualities that this Virgo descendant energy can embody, it has a shadow side. One being, you can be attracted to individuals who are deeply critical, okay? And Virgo is an archetype that sees the world through the lens of critique. And they're just as hard with other people as they are with themselves. And they don't mean it to be malicious necessarily, but because Virgo processes the world through details, they will have a tendency to harp on your mistakes, on your flaws. You can be drawn to individuals who just feel like everything you do is wrong. The way you do dishes is wrong. The way you fold your clothes is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. These people can be deeply, deeply critical, using their detail-oriented minds rather to improve your shared lives together in order to almost make you feel like you are the enemy. Because as I highlighted, as a Pisces rising, you are pretty sensitive. So you can be drawn to individuals who almost, to a really sinister level, can almost like gaslight you into be like, am I wrong? Am I the worst person ever because I don't fold my clothes how this person wants me to? Am I the worst person ever because I don't work out as this person wants me to? Like, it almost can make you question your reality when you are continually criticized over and over and over again. And you know, there's a wide spectrum of people who fall in this. Some people may be malicious with it, like really just trying to tear you down and make you feel insecure. A lot of Virgo Descendant archetype individuals just genuinely want you to be your best self, and because it's a Virgo superiority complex, can feel like their way is the best way, so they're trying to help you. But either way, being cautious of individuals who feel like everything that you are doing is wrong, because the best expression of this balance is really someone who is able to supplement and sees your magic and doesn't make you wrong in the way that you do things, in the way that you do micro things like do the dishes, in the way that you approach social situations. Maybe they can improve your reality. Maybe they can spotlight, hey, we really need to leave parties before 11 because you have class in the morning, or hey, you know, if you don't put the chicken out, then we don't have anything to eat at night because it needs to defrost. There is such a difference in intent and in balance, and being able for you to appreciate the Virgo sensibilities around being very grounded, very pragmatic, very practical, as well as for the Virgo to admire your compassion, your heart, your imagination, and how much that brings to the partnership. So just being cautious if you're in a partnership that makes you feel like everything that you do is wrong and everything that you are is bad, because it is simply not the case. Now, when we understand Virgo energy, it all comes down to habits. And as I highlighted, to the lighter side, this can be someone who really encourages you to improve your habits, someone who is very dedicated to health and fitness, someone who's very dialed into their routine. However, Virgo governs habits for better and for worse. That is why you'll find Virgo archetype people, again, does not need to literally be a Virgo, just someone who embodies this archetype. You'll find some of them that drink green juice and run 5 miles before dawn every morning. You'll find an equal amount who drink a bottle of whiskey before 10 a.m. every morning. Virgo is described by their habits for better and for worse. And so while you can be drawn to individuals who really live a healthy lifestyle, there can also be individuals who are very, very entrenched into their bad habits. And because of this, Virgo energy can have very bad habits. And this can range far and wide. But one that I see very commonly with Virgo Descendant archetypal people is like a bad habit around overworking, right? Virgo energy, both this axis, really you and Virgo, can struggle with boundaries, but in different ways. While they're analytic and can help you be discerning where you are trusting, right? They do have a tendency to overwork themselves or work themselves to the pulp or make their world all about work and nothing else. So you can find, you know, you can be drawn to individuals where you feel like you are second place to their work, to their career, or to whatever habits they have going on. There is this energy that you can feel around feeling distant from your partner, because your Virgo Descendant individual lives a lot in their mind. They are very brainy, analytical types. And a lot of times there could be this energy around not always feeling that warm and fuzzy feeling of connection. They're busy, they have their habits, they have their job. And that can a lot of times feel to be the most important thing before you. Like, it's not an energy that will say to you, hey, let's go run in the sand at sunset. They'll be like, oh, there's sand in my toes. They're more likely to show their love for you through very practical measures. Hey, I fixed the dishwasher. Hey, I brought home dinner, those sort of things. But if you're looking for those grand displays of romance, oftentimes Virgo lives so much in their head that they don't always go there. It's not always the most passionate connection. But you as a Pisces rising bring enough passion for the both of you. And the last point that I want you to be mindful of, shadow side of Virgo energy. These individuals are wound very tight. They can be very neurotic. They can be very, very anxious. And because they're so in their brain, they can be very worrywarts. They can foresee the worst possible scenario for everything and kind of infuse that worry into you, because you are Pisces rising, so you're a little bit more sensitive to what's happening around you. And while you can supplement them with this feeling of trust, like it's going to be okay, let's go with the flow, we don't need to have a plan for everything, sometimes it can be taxing to be with someone where whenever you have an idea or there's something you want to do, they're like, well, what if this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens, and you're like, whoa, the odds of that are happening are very slim. It's like Virgo energy likes to be prepared, and oftentimes they prepare by thinking about the worst case scenario, which could inject you with the sensation of doubt, which can kind of take the fun out of the spontaneous thing that you're suggesting or what it is that you want, when you have someone who's poking holes into all of the reasons why it won't work or why it's a bad idea, right? This can be helpful. Your Virgo descendant partner can be very prepared in situations. Like if you do go to the mountain town and it is raining, like your Virgo descendant partner will have an umbrella in the car. But it can be draining when you're trying to suggest going on a snowboarding trip and your partner's like, what if we crash the car on the way there? What if your snowboard runs into a tree? And you're like, well, what if we just go and have an amazing time? Like with Virgo descendant energy, they're so in their brain, think about the worst case scenario, and it taxes themselves a lot. A lot of times Virgo descendant type partners can have a really hard time relaxing, which again, your Pisces rising is like, it's all good, go with the flow, believe in the big picture, we don't need to plan it all out. And they sort of help the partnership in planning and preparing for the future, but sometimes it can go to an excess in that they are worrying themselves and stressing themselves out, and maybe even not supporting you two doing things together because they're just envisioning all of the things that can go wrong. So my love, I would love to hear your experience if you are Pisces rising with Virgo descendant like partners. My Instagram handle is @HaleyCometAstrology. My TikTok is the same. I would love to connect with you over there. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.